Alright, today I'll be talking about the Robos indicator. I'll just be explaining a few steps on how it works and what it is. So basically this indicator, it has an algorithm which helps you identify the overbought and oversold regions of your price chart. So for example here, this is the menu of the indicator when you open the indicator. So on the first you have this contact. This is just our contact email that you can reach us on to if you have any questions or queries. In the mode, this is the settings, the predefined settings that you can switch on to, because it has so many variables, so we had to put them into just a few enums that you can choose and select your trading settings. So this is just to simplify the whole functionality of the indicator. Otherwise there's so many variables to consider. So you can choose some cap, mix 2, and switch, and these will be updated regularly, so be sure to check and get the most updated version of the indicator. Alright, the look back is just a number of candles to calculate. You can choose a 1000 minimum, 4000. It depends on how much history you want to calculate with the indicator. And we have the alert options here. The enable alerts, it will, for example, it will enable the alerts when the crossing happens for the indicator. If crossing happens above the 0 or below the 0, it will activate all alerts. And also here, enable overbought and oversold alerts. Now this option came into the version 4, I think, and up. So with this option, you are given the ability to select the most overbought and oversold prices, so that signals can only be given in those regions and not any other. If you deactivate this one, you're gonna get all alerts. But if you deactivate this and activate this, which means you're only going to get the overbought and oversold prices if you want to have more accuracy for your signals. The enable sound is obvious here. You enable the sound on your computer or disable it. Mobile notifier, this activates the mobile alerts. So be sure to actually go to your settings and activate this and connect your mobile MT5 to this. The computer alerts will send signals to your computer or your device. The sound file is default alert, and then these are the overbought and oversold prices now that I want to talk about. So I'll show you how to set up these later in the video. So for now, let me just close this. So here is the indicator here. Now let us try to set up our overbought and oversold regions. If you can see, this is volatility index 75 on 30 minutes time frame. If you go back, you can see the indicators crossing everywhere like this. Now these crossings, what they mean is just at the point where the price was kind of exhausted and it has a high possibility of turning, giving a reversal. Alright, so you can use these points as your confluence when making a trading decision. So okay, now I can start looking for short positions or long positions. For example here, this means that price is more likely to continue going down at this point, which means it crossed, so it will more likely to form a downtrend now from here. So now let me just show you the steps you can take for you to actually use this indicator. So here I prepared a list of what you have to do, the steps you have to follow to trade this indicator. Yes, version 4 and up, I think. Number 1, you have to identify the trend. It's very important to identify the trend, because this indicator, most people confuse. I mean, it's just obvious, but most people confuse. It will not control the price. All right, it will only show you, it will only help you find those critical points of the current instrument you're trading. It won't control the price. Let me just say this point blank. It won't control the price. So this is a crossing. This doesn't mean that, okay, the price will continue going down. No, it will just give you an idea of, okay, now this is the point I have to start making my trading decisions. So for example, I prepared this. Yeah, this EUR/USD is a very clear downtrend here. So for example, you get a line here, draw a trend line up like that. For example, here, this is a downtrend. Now imagine if you are just taking all positions here, trying to buy. Okay, you can buy, of course, get a few points, but the trend will continue to go down, and the trend will continue to go down this direction. So the best thing to do, first of all, is to identify the trend, and then if you see, okay, this is a downtrend, you now be looking for to short your positions. and this is where the extreme overbought and oversold regions coming. If you look at the chart, if you look at this region carefully, oh, this is a very bad color, let me change it. All right, if you look at this region carefully, you see that we have some swings which are like so long and directed, and those which are like so short. So this is where the overbought and oversold like functionality came in version 4.0. So now you have the ability to actually only target these long points. For example, here at this point, you can target this point. It will give you a different kind of signal here and here. Or let me say here and here and here. All right, so these points, you can now set a line here which will only give you different kind of signals for you to know that, okay, this is a very critical point, an extreme overbought or oversold point. It will also give you signals here on these points there and there, but these are just normal signals. So how to set up these levels, let me show you now. All right, first of all, what you want to do to draw these levels, you have to here get this line, get a horizontal line from this list, and then paste it inside the indicator window here. And then this is up to you. You can choose if you want to be extremely so accurate, like you don't want to leave any error margin. You can just put this at the tip. Let this line be slightly below the crossings of at least 3 points. Like here 1, here we have 0.1, here 0.2, and 0.3. So it is touching and crossing above because the signal will be given above these points, equals to this line or above this line. And if you can see here, the number of this line is about 0.3 something. So after you draw this line, next you right click and open the properties of the horizontal line, and then go to parameters. In here, select all this, and you have to copy this value, copy or cut it, and then click on the indicator, open it, and then in here in the overbought and oversold levels, paste this value. If you can see, the oversold level is positive because it is above 0, and the overbought level, first put a negative there and paste it because it has to be negative, otherwise all your signals will be given above the 0 point, because it's an inverse of, you know, each value is like inverse of each value. So after you select, now click OK. Here first of all you have to activate these levels here, saying true. Enable overbought and oversold alerts, true. After that, we click OK. After clicking OK, you notice that a line has been drawn here down and below. Now, as you can see, there's a separation between normal signals and extreme overbought and oversold signals. Alright, so now this is how you set up these levels, and now you can just wait for a signal to be given to you, an alert. When the signal is given, you place your buy entry, you place your buy position or sell position. This is how simple you can use it. This is a version 4, and so now a few tips on how to use this indicator to the best of its ability. First thing, you have to here pick the right time frame. Now we've already covered this one, but also picking the right time frame. Let me give you an example of why this is important. For example, here I have this crypto, this is Litecoin. This time frame is good, of course, but the indicator does not really match with the waves of this indicator, with the movement, the price movement. This does not mean that, okay, the indicator is not working correctly. No, it's just the time frame. It's not really fitting for these indicator settings. So what you can do is try to, first of all, change these settings to a more like a different one. Say if it's going to give you some smooth, I mean what you're looking for is a smooth kind of crossing, line crossing on this indicator here. So if it's not matching, if it's not looking pretty like that, then you have to, okay, change the time frame. Okay, let me go back to this. So try to go to a lower time frame or a higher one. As you can see, it's getting much better. We're able to now catch the swings of each turn like that. Or if you want, you can go as low as 30 minutes. Right now, this is much better because for now you can actually see the crossings happening in real time like that. For example, here if you see in this region, the steps we did before, let us now try to set up for this instrument. First of all, get a horizontal line, Pick at least 3 points. 1, 2, I have 3, and also 4 on this one. Here, 1, 2, 3, I have 3 points like that. So I'll draw a line here, this line, and then I will copy, go to the properties, parameters, copy the value of this line, copy there, okay, and then open the indicator, open properties of Robos. I'm using the demo, but it's still the same as a premium. Here, go to these overbought and oversold levels, paste it here, put a negative value, paste it. Here, also activate the alerts. If you want, you can deactivate these normal alerts and only get the actually overbought and oversold alerts, so that you can only be notified when it is like you have more chance of getting the signal right there. So now the levels have been set. Only thing you have to wait for is now get your signals. And don't forget to activate this allow modifications of settings, allow modification of signal settings. Okay, and then click OK. So now your indicator has been set. Simple as that. And now, yeah, this is it for this video. If you have any queries, you can just reach out to me and I'll try to reply as soon as I can. Otherwise, yeah, good luck in your trading, and thank you for choosing Robot FX.